386-5919. 386-5919, theartofgranite.com. Now, I slipped there and said floor coverings because Simply Floors, Inc., I'm going to talk about right now. Buddy Mitchell was in the other day, and I can't say enough about how Buddy and Karen run their business. First of all, they're the consummate experts when it comes to floor coverings. If you want to know what to use and how to use it, they know. So they help you choose the best floor coverings, and then they have the best pricing and the best installers and the best experience. You can make your own appointment at simplyfloorsinc.com.
You're working from home and now you need a bigger home for that office and your family. Michael Brown here, and I recommend that you talk to Ed Prather and Ed Prather Real Estate. Ed Prather's proprietary marketing system guarantees multiple offers in 3 days for full market value or more, or Ed's going to sell your home for free. His home selling program is designed to create bidding wars and to maximize your home selling price. You remain in control, avoiding costly repairs, and you pick your own move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. I'll give you an example. Cale and Karen in Centennial. They needed to move to Colorado Springs, but they were concerned about affording the move. They needed to maximize their equity to afford the new place. Ed Prather made it happen. Ed Prather is the only real estate agent I recommend and trust with the sale of my own home. You should trust him too. Call Ed Prather at 720-650-4959, 720-650-4959, or edprather.com. That's edprather.com.
Here in Colorado, things are a little grander.
Stars a little closer.
Love a little deeper.
And celebrations a little brighter.
At Williams Jewelers, we know that living and loving a mile high is a privilege.
What's crazy? This pitch I'm getting from a PR firm. No. I just don't even.
I get 10 of them a day from for referral list.
Something that sparkles in the sun at Williams Jewelers,
where Colorado shines. I'm Shana Williams.
I'm Shana's dad, Steve Williams, inviting you to Williams Jewelers of Inglewood.
We've built one of the largest jewelry stores in America with one vision:
to be the only jeweler you will ever need.
Williams Jewelers,
where Colorado shines. Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, on the corner of Bellevue and Broadway, where Colorado shines.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. What was it? They go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs can stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem. Like,
I'm going to change that password.
Syntec is back and better than ever at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is a premium full synthetic motor oil at an affordable price. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a whip filter for just $31.99. Plus, earn double O rewards points. Minimize friction, heat, and wear on your engine with Syntec full synthetic motor oil exclusively at
Auto Parts.
To get the most out of everything you paid into Social Security, attend Allwork Financial's 5 Steps to Managing Your Social Security workshop. This no-cost workshop is designed for people with $500,000 or more in assets and within 5 years of retirement. This is our most popular workshop, so space is limited. Join us in Highlands Ranch, Lakewood, Boulder, and Broomfield. Secure your seat today at 855-918-2181 or allworkfinancial.com.
I don't understand that.
This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
Look with the skies and hey, a little less smoke for your Friday. Temperatures in the upper 80s with a good chance for some showers and thunderstorms by later on this afternoon. Some of which could become severe. I'm Box 31, Pinpoint Weather Team Meteorologist Kylie.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford built the cars, trucks, and SUVs of the future for everyone. Built for tough and built for America. Now, get additional bonus cash on top of current offers when you build and order your Ford at your local Ford store today.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Doyle, while we care, of course, about people who call with problems, I'm not sure there's anything to be done if your neighbor is off meds and threatens people and the police won't do anything. I don't know what to do. I mean, I would say that possibly your neighbors get a restraining, you and your neighbors seriously ask for a restraining order to make the guy stay in the house. Well, here's what you would do. A representative would go down, maybe a few of you, and say, we want, or the immediate neighbors, we would like a restraining order, keeping him away from us and out of our property and away from us, and we feel our life is in danger. And you ask a judge for a temporary restraining order. After that, you ask for a permanent one. I'm serious. You get an attorney and you chip in for an attorney to do a restraining order. It's going to be weird, but you can do it.
Okay, so once the restraining order is issued, what if he doesn't adhere to it?
Now, here's the thing. Whether it's temporary or permanent, first it's temporary, and then you have to go and make it permanent. But let's talk about temporary, because that's the first one you're going to get. It's just as powerful as a permanent one. So let's say you get a restraining order against the neighbor, and it says you have to stay 100 yards away, or it's got to be reasonable, or stay off of your property, the neighbor's property, and you can't talk to him or approach them. If he violates it, then the police can arrest him for violation. Then eventually somebody gets wind of this, because this guy is spending time in jail. And mental illness is not an excuse to violate a restraining order. In fact, mental illness is not an excuse to commit crime. The only thing, here's the deal about crime. They still are not allowed to commit crime. It might help them when it comes to the sentencing or the conviction, but they still have to do something to address it, mandatory counseling or something. But they don't get off free. Here's the other thing. Does that person have family you can contact?
Well, yes, but that family was not willing last time this occurred, which was maybe a year.
How old is the person who is on meds?
About 35.
And is he living there with a mate, with a friend, or with parents, or with whatever?
Well, he was, the first time his live-in girlfriend left him. And that's, I believe, what instituted the going off his meds and all the erratic behavior. And like I said, that was maybe 2 years ago.
I just need to know this. You said a family member. Who have you contacted?
Well, this time we haven't contacted anybody. Last time it was his parents.
All right.
And they weren't willing to do anything, Tom. I don't
blame him. I mean, the guy's 28 or something, or in his 20s. I don't blame him. Listen, Doyle, the only thing you can do is a restraining order. That's the only thing I can see. Marcellus, what's happening with this contractor?
Yeah, so good morning, everyone.
Hey.
So we had a contractor that we found about through a neighbor who ended up coming out because we need our pergola redone.
What do you need to, wait, what? Pergola?
Pergola?
Yeah. So
pergola?
What do you, okay, hold on. Where is this pergola?
In our backyard.
And you want it redone or you want it done?
Redone.
Okay, so let's talk about it. What happened?
Well, yeah. So also at the same time, we needed our stairs.
Like, is the pergola rotting? Is it coming down? What's happening to it?
No, it was our deck in general. The deck was starting to rot. Pergola was also starting to split away, the boards on top. So we decided
So is it a deck with a pergola on top of it?
Correct.
Okay. And you want it all redone, basically, removed and replaced?
Correct.
Okay. So what happened?
So he'd end up doing that part of it, as well as our front porch steps.
What's the name of the contractor?
Premier Colorado Design.
And where'd you find him?
Our neighbor was getting some work done on their back deck, and so just talking to the neighbor.
Okay, so you hired these guys to redo the deck, the pergola, and the front porch, right?
Correct.
Okay, and what went wrong?
When it was time to do the front porch, because they couldn't do it all at the same time, the night before, when I called to make sure it was happening, he said, hey, I know that we have a contract. I know we were going to sign it tomorrow
Well,
morning.
here's what I want to know. Did you give him any money up front?
No, not for the porch. Nope.
I mean, for anything.
Yes, he did in stages. So we already paid him for the pergola, and the porch we were paying for when that was done.
Okay, what I need to know is the pergola done right?
Pergola was done. It's some minor issues, but pergola, yes, was done relatively correctly.
So pergola's done. Is the deck done underneath the pergola?
Deck, we end up going with somebody else and going a different route.
Okay.
So the porch is the problem.
Now, so with the front porch, if you didn't pay for it, what's the big deal? Just tell them to get lost.
He said, hey, sorry I can't do it, even though we have this contract. I'm going to send somebody else who I know who can do the work. That person ended up not being able to do the porch well at all, and we now have major issues with the porch where it's going to have to be completely redone.
Hold on, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, was the contract assignable?
I'm not aware if it was or wasn't. He said the gentleman can do the same. He'll honor the contract that you and I
But you agreed to that, then. You agreed to it, man. You agreed to it, right?
Yep. Yes. Yep. Because he said, yes, this guy can do the same work and build an up-to-code porch. But then the gentleman did not build an up-to-code porch.
All right, so now what? I mean, you kind of screwed everything up by allowing him to do it. Who's the contract with?
It was with a gentleman who we thought worked for him, and it turned out it was just a friend.
No, wait a minute.
Has started blocking
Premier Colorado Design, are they the ones that signed the contract for the front porch?
They did not sign it. They sent it to us. The other gentleman was supposed to honor that contract, did not, and so did the porch his own way.
The pergola was signed. That contract was the same contract or a separate one?
Separate contract.
All right, then here it is. You don't have, then Premier Colorado Design, since you allowed them and they didn't sign a contract, you have, in my opinion, you have nothing with them. It's all between you and the new guy. So who's the new guy?
Gotcha. I have his name, but he is actually not part of a company, and I only have his name because he signed the check when we wrote the check afterward.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is that's the guy responsible to you. Why'd you write him a check?
We didn't realize how out of what's the word?
How much did you pay him? How much did you pay him?
$1,500.
Okay. How much will it cost to fix?
$1,100.
Huh. Who told you that?
A licensed contractor in Arapahoe County.
Oh my God. Okay. Who is the guy that you got from Premier? Who's the guy you hired to do the porch?
Yep, his name is Jamie Armenta.
Jamie Armenta. What does Jamie Armenta say he's going to do to make this right?
He blocked our number, said he was going to come back and fix it, and then stopped returning our
All right, you screwed yourself. You're going to have to pay $1,100. I'm telling you the truth now, not lying to you. Jamie Armenta probably doesn't have a pot to piss in. You want to know the truth. And therefore cannot afford to come back and fix it. This was done half-assed. You shouldn't have allowed him to do it. You did. Okay? So now what? Now, do you think Colorado Design cares? They're going to say, listen, you didn't have a contract with us, and they're correct, right?
Correct.
Can they get Jamie to fix it?
No, he said, this is no longer my problem.
Yep. Folks, you just heard a lesson on how not to do things. We'll come right back to it.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, a stalled semi has now been cleared out of traffic southbound I-25 after 120th. Still, heavy traffic remains back to 136th Avenue. Also, a crash reported in Hampton and Federal. Watch for that. Now back to the highways. The rest of the highways checking in clear. No other major accidents or stalls to slow you down. Overall, it's a pretty decent drive. Fox 31 pinpoint weather, less smoky today and tomorrow. A 40% chance for a thunderstorm today, a high of 88. Low tonight 60, and for the weekend, temperatures in the low 90s with a slight chance of rain. Currently it's 74. With your impact, traffic and weather, I'm Vic McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Looking to save money this year? Look at Allstate. You can get the protection you need at the low rate you want. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations.
Houses are flying off the market. A lot of people are buying homes together. They're not married. They just buy it, hope things work out, run into all kinds of problems. Why? They didn't do an agreement, not a proper agreement, not with O'Brien Legal Services, olslaw.com. He's our real estate expert, Brad O'Brien, and he's the one that can help you. If you have a real estate issue, you need to call him. If you're doing a real estate transaction, you need to call him. There's no reason not to use a law firm to go over the documents at least. Listen, you can have them do just a few hours work to save you hundreds of thousands in headaches. O'Brien Legal Services, that's olslaw.com. 720-370-7388. That's 720-370-7388. Joe Lazzara is a criminal defense attorney. I say this every time. I hope you never need him, but I've done the shopping for you to keep you from shopping when you're under stress. So here's what you do. Take the name down now, and if you ever need an attorney, you won't be under stress. You'll know I vetted him. Joe Lazzara, in business for many, many years. I've known him from the beginning. 303-429-6200. Free consultations, flat rate pricing, DUIs, speeding tickets, traffic, or heavy charges. 303-429-6200. Are you sure O'Brien is 30? Can you double check?
I'm surrounded by teams every day.
Did somebody change the help password? Because I can't get into
No, I
our
did. I'm
email.
working on, yes, I did. I'll send it to you in a minute.
And it's now available to kids 12 and up.
Okay, good. Okay. That's good because he really doesn't need 60.
Mark, would you send it to me as well, please?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mark, is there a reason obvious?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll need it too. Okay. I appreciate that. I forgot about that. Just between you and me, never mind. I won't talk about it. Is there any other things we have to change?
I'm working on all that.
Okay, you'll just send us all of it?
Yeah. Internet car dealer in Colorado, and you can shop over 1,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs today at thesharpestdrive.com. It was under $10,000 in even 2020 models, so get shopping today at thesharpestdrive.com.
Take the mystery out of electrical problems. Broken switch, inoperative outlet, flickering lights. Homeline Services can help with a low-cost $21 whole house electrical inspection. Homeline has been serving Colorado since '98 and added a new location up north, serving Boulder, Longmont, and more. Schedule online, plumlineservices.com. No phone call, no hassle, no wait. Plumlineservices.com. Service at home. Servants at home. Plumlineservices.com. Alright, everybody get closer. Act like you like each other.
Hear that? That's the sound of people all over Colorado living their healthiest lives. Eating, talking, exercising, laughing, smiling, taking family photos, cheering, and experiencing joy. Everyone deserves to feel good doing the things they love. And your teeth and gums are a big part of that. If you sometimes worry that your dental issues are affecting your health and holding you back from doing all the things you care about, it's time to get a free consultation with Colorado's Clear Choice. Dr. Jovic and Dr. Mackert and their team will evaluate your teeth and determine what options will best serve you. Today's the day to get back out there. Visit clearchoice.com and do something good for your health.
One of the things that I love about betting on the FanDuel Sportsbook is you get more than one shot to swing for the fences. Right now, new and existing users can get up to $25 back in site credit each day if you place a minimum 5-leg baseball parlay and it falls one leg short, you will get up to $25 back with parlay insurance. Parlays are pretty simple concept. You place multiple bets, and you've got to win them all to win your bet, but if you do, you win far more than you would want if you bet them separately. Right now on FanDuel, if you bet 5 legs or more, and you come up 1 leg short, you'll get a credit back in your account for the amount of your bet, up to $25. So easy to get started. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with my promo code KHOW to get in on the action on my personal favorite sportsbook, FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code KHOW.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent ups and downs, don't let market volatility derail your retirement. Hi, I'm Linda Gardner, host of Your Money, Your Retirement, Saturday on 6:30 KHOW. If you're concerned about the markets, call today to schedule a complimentary review of your portfolio. Call 720-488-8604, 720-488-8604, or online, yourmoneyyourretirement.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So what do you do in a case like this? What do you do when you sign an agreement and, or don't have an agreement, but you have a guy that's just not performing, and he probably doesn't have the money to perform? We're going to have Deputy Doc give him a call to see what we can shake up. Maybe that might help, okay, Marcellus? But the point is this. A couple things went wrong here. First and foremost, you never even investigated Premier Colorado Design, so we don't know what, but at least they did the pergola. Now, when it came to the front porch, they sent another guy, and you totally did not have a contract with Premier Colorado Design. They never signed it. And this new guy, did you have a contract with Jamie?
I did not, no.
Jamie could actually say, I'm telling you this, I never worked there. I mean, people don't even understand how open they leave themselves. So let's say he admits working there. Now we have to figure it out. You paid him $1,500. It's going to take $1,100 to fix. What was he supposed to do?
Repair the front steps.
That's it. What was that? Concrete or wood? Concrete or wood?
Wood.
I can't understand how that. What was $1,500 about a step, and how can $1,100 be to fix it? What did he have to do? Just replace the steps?
No. So the whole porch, and I apologize. So the porch, right, is 2 steps. You have the landing, you have the stairs. So
okay, got it. So he had to rebuild the whole thing, a wooden porch, right?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, let's go with it.
Okay, all right. So bottom line, he did it wrong. Now, okay. So listen, we will call him. Deputy Doc will say, Jamie, are you going to go over and fix it? He's probably not going to want to talk. We'll see. Jamie Armenta. What's the name of Jamie?
I'm sorry. He goes by Jaime. I was reading it. It's still Jaime, but Jaime is how I respond.
Heidi?
Jaime. Spanish. Jaime.
Okay. He goes by that. Jaime, and it's pronounced Heidi.
Jaime.
Got it.
Yep.
Like, hi me, hi you.
Like you've got a Heine.
Yeah.
No, like hi me and hi you. Got it. Okay, yeah, because the J is an H. I got it, sir. Now, hold on. Deputy Doc is going to talk to you, and we'll figure out what's going on. But these things happen all the time, and they suck. Jeff Vick is with us, Kimmer Transmission. Jeff, we talked about auto maintenance. Didn't you tell me the heat does more harm on a car than the cold?
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
Really?
Thermal management is huge as far as keeping any part of that car healthy.
So, really, we have to be more in tune with our cars in the hot weather.
Yes, you do.
What is the thing that makes transmissions fail due to heat?
Well, the fluid will break down. If you don't have proper lubrication, you're not getting sufficient cooling. That fluid's going to break down. You're going to lose the ability to lubricate things properly, and the additive packages in there that allow for the clutches to grip properly, they start to break down. You start getting slippage.
So, bottom line, you just do your fluids more often.
Do your fluids more often. Pay attention to that heat. Make sure if you've got a transmission that you're constantly adding fluid to, transmissions do not burn oil like an engine does. So you're losing it someplace. You've got a leak that needs to be taken care of.
Okay, so heat is worse on a transmission than cold, and worse on cars. Fluids are the number one thing to pay attention to. Kimmer Transmission. If you have any questions, problems, complaints regarding cars or anything else, give us a call. We have open lines you can get right through. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
Okay, got that. When you killed that one email, anyhow, it fucked me up. I had to redo shit. I'm sorry. Well, no, I would have never known it either. Not in a million years. But I got her fucking handled.
This report is sponsored by Wendy. From the Metro Sports Traffic Center, traffic is improving from an earlier stall clear southbound I-25, still sluggish between 120th and 84th. And a heads up, the ramp from westbound.
I have been talking to Screen Solutions.
Road work due to reopen Monday morning at 5 a.m. and every once in a while that does cause some curiosity slowing on westbound I-70 near Ward Road. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. Less smoke today and tomorrow. A 40% chance for a thunderstorm today.
Call for snow on some of the
an overnight
14ers.
And for the weekend.
Are you serious?
With a slight chance for rain. Currently it's 76. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin.
Yeah, the Bears have gotten a lot more active,
Right now
boy.
at Wendy's, get a Dave single plus another great item for just $1 more. It's Wendy's BOGO $1. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. Valid for item of equal or lesser value cannot be used in a combo or with other offer.
Right now, a lot of people are thinking about air conditioning because of the heat. They should also be thinking about furnaces. They work in concert with each other. And if you're a new customer, Fix It 24/7 will come out and check and clean that entire system for just $39. You will never, ever match what they do for the price ever. That's all I have to say. It's unbelievable what they do. No one else does it to the extent they do it. The other thing is this. If you need a system, one of the few ones where you don't have to wait, and they've gotten ready for the supply chain shortages, and they have new systems starting at just, you're not going to believe this, at just $77 a month. Call for details, 720-526-3939. Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine, is a place I highly recommend because I'm the patient and I can tell you they're working with me on my pain. Now listen, pain comes in all shapes and sizes. They track it down at the root. They try to help you with both the root cause and the symptoms themselves. They try to get you relief so you can do physical therapy and work on more permanent cures. The message is they are people of compassion and action. Colorado Pain Care, Sport and Spine, all major insurance accepted, 303-GOT-PAIN. 303-GOT-PAIN. Who do you trust when it comes to gold and silver? Everybody's saying, oh, we'll buy your gold and silver, also platinum and everything else. But who do you trust? Now, you can go to a hotel room and meet people who come to town for the weekend, or you can go and just to one of these what's called hot shops or whatever. But here's the deal. I recommend David Ellis Jewelers. He's been here for years, like 40 years. And he's at 3rd and Clayton in Cherry Creek. I know him. I've done business with him. You can too. DavidEllisJewelry.com. 303-322-8779. Don't take chances on names you don't know. The name David Ellis has been associated with Cherry Creek for many, many years. Now you stop in, it's a quick stop in. Hey, what do you think? Boom. He either buys it for the price or not. And if you like it, there's no, take it. If not, there's no obligation. So there's nothing to lose, everything to gain with DavidEllisJewelers.com. 303-322-8779, DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton.
The 9th annual Broncos Pick 7K Run Walk returns to Empower Field at Mile High on Sunday, September 5th. Celebrate the kickoff to the Denver Broncos season and experience the exhilaration of finishing the race on the field as you cross the 50-yard line. Participants will receive an exclusive Broncos t-shirt, race bib, finisher's medal, and an unforgettable experience with a limited capacity. This race will sell out. On your mark, get set, go to Broncos7k.com to register today.
With all the recent huge changes in our economy, this is a really important time to pay attention to your spending and your savings. Don't waste money, and very importantly, don't turn your head on ways that you could save. For example, a mortgage refinance. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky for American Financing, reminding you that a mortgage refinance is more than just a lower interest rate. It's also an effective way to eliminate high-interest debt. You're able to pull out cash from your home equity so you can pay off credit card balances, personal loans, whatever you need. You'll typically receive not only a much lower rate, but also reduce the number.
Jeff, what else, man? You been hunting this year?
You know what else? When you choose an
I didn't do spring turkey.
Mark, can we slip things under our door?
Can we what?
Is there room to slip things under our door?
Our office door? Yeah, I think so. I mean, nothing big. You're not going to fit a fucking basketball under there. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe he wants to put a basketball under our door. Got to.
Mark, did you send me your new?
Oh, yeah. Spring.
So spring turkey?
Yeah, when is it?
It was like March, April.
Oh, so you already did it?
No, I said I didn't go this year.
Oh, why not? Too busy?
Yeah, just doing too much stuff.
Really? That's usually your favorite, isn't it?
No, elk hunting is usually my favorite. But, so, I need to get down to the buddy's ranch. He's got the coyotes are getting kind of unruly over there, so he wants someone to take them out.
So you got to pull a license, or you just knock them out?
I think you just knock them out. You're supposed to have a small game or fur bearer's license.
Can I shoot them in my yard legally, or?
As long as it's legal for you to shoot there.
Yeah, it is.
As long as the bolt doesn't leave the property.
So, Douglas County always says when I moved in, the neighbor came over, man, this dude's got everything. And he's like, hey, man.
Females are going to be taboo.
He's like, here's a number. If you're a shooter, just call Douglas up and let him know you're shooting. Because we had some new people move in from New Jersey, and they tend to call the cops whenever they hear a gunshot. So if we're going to be shooting for a long time, we'll just call up and just courtesy to the,
Yeah, we had that at my dad's place. Cops will show up to check it out. So.
Yeah.
But,
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk to Mark, who has a question on TurboTax. Go ahead. Or, I'm sorry, not TurboTax. Turbo on a Duramax. Now we're talking vehicles. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I misread that. What is your issue or question?
Okay, I've got a 07 Duramax, and I got about 200,000 on it. Runs real strong, runs good. But when I pulled the cold air intake off on the passenger side to replace the belt, there was motor oil inside there. I'm wondering, is that leaking by the bearing, or am I about to?
Now this is a turbo, right? Is the turbo near there?
Yeah, you can get some oil in there as they wear out and they age.
Where is it coming from if the turbo is wearing
It's most likely coming through the turbo itself, yeah, and it's collected inside there. Now, that can leak for a substantial amount of time before you actually have larger problems where you do have to address it, but a good diesel shop, they may be able to just fix the one that's on there currently or let you know how much time you got before you need replacement.
Okay.
So if it's the intake, it's the intake running the turbo, right?
The exhaust runs the turbo.
Right, that's what I mean is, but the intake, is it mixed with cold air? What does he mean, cold air intake of the engine?
No, the cold air intake, yes, just like you would on a gasoline, so your air cleaner.
Right.
Right, so he's got a cold air intake, so he's getting, the idea is the more cool the air is going in, the more dense it is, so you get a more efficient burn.
Okay. But the turbo is being run by the exhaust. The fresh air is coming in, being compressed.
Correct.
And as it's being compressed, oil is being spit out.
Correct.
Now, with a diesel, with oil in the air intake, it also richens.
To some extent, yeah, because that diesel's running enough compression that it will be able to fire off the oil itself.
So
yes,
that is another thing, the drivability itself with a rich mixture. So, I mean, but, even if it's not hurting your actual turbo at this time, how long does it usually take to fail? Does it just fail all at once, or does it start?
Yeah, anybody who puts a time clock on that's just making it up.
And where are the seals that start leaking in a turbo? On the impeller itself?
Yeah, there's where the bearings run through there.
So that's what it is, Mark. What would that? Do you know the cost to rebuild those?
Since we don't do them, I really don't want to put a number on that.
But you're talking about a turbo rebuild.
A rebuild or a replacement. So now, either way, it's not going to be a less expensive job. It will be a little bit more expensive.
Right, but it's always better to rebuild than replace, or not? Or do they have sometimes core you just trade it in?
If a guy knows what he's doing, great. You can get those rebuilt, but most of the time I'd probably just replace it, yes.
But is there a replacement like with a rebuild or with factory new?
I would go factory new, or the aftermarket does have some more enhanced performance type turbos available, so you can get a little bit more power out of it.
How many miles on this one, Mark?
200, a little over 200. But I wouldn't try to boost the power, or it would probably kill that engine pretty quick.
You have over 200,000 miles.
Oh yeah, and it's
just broke in.
Hard. I pulled some really huge loads on that.
Yeah, she's just broke in at 200.
It's an awesome machine.
Do they really last that long?
Oh heavens, yes.
Oh,
is it because
you take care of them?
I haven't put anything but a glow plug in that truck in 200,000 miles.
Oh my God! How's the transmission?
Oh, it's wonderful. When I pull my camper down Wolf Creek Pass, I weigh about 30,000 pounds with everything, and all I got to do is set the cruise control, and it'll let me down the mountain without touching the brake.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Mark, I'm sorry. What else were you going to say?
What's that?
What else were you going to say? I didn't want to cut you off.
I just wanted to say thank you for your rant this morning, because I believe exactly what you say, and I believe when that more people should be made aware of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say
thank you. Hey, Mark, do we have any good diesel shops on the referral list? I know we did.
I've got one that's going to be on there real soon.
Should we give out the name?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to do a background check, but I've used them now a couple times, and so far so good. We're going to see.
Jeff, do you have any good any diesel shops?
Tom over at Diesel Performance in Parker, and there's also Excel Diesel over in Parker.
I used to send stuff out to both of those, actually.
And they've got a very, very loyal following.
Okay, that's good. Say those names again, then.
There's Diesel Performance in Parker and Excel Diesel.
Okay. All right. Now, we have several hours to go. Well, let's just say it like it is. We have 3 hours to go. And we can take your calls, solve your problems, answer your questions. All you have to do is call 303-713-TALK. That's 303-713-8255. I'm here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. We love doing it. So just give us a call, 303-713-TALK.
Rates are at historic lows, so take advantage of our new fast track loan with an unbelievable low rate of 2.125 rate and APR with no closing costs on a 15-year fixed loan. That's right, no points, no fees. Hi, I'm Leslie Hoagland with Westland Financial, a trusted lender for over 20 years. Even if you refinanced it last year, we can still probably save you money. All it takes is a phone call to find out if we can save you thousands of dollars a year.
Does that mean we also have to say different fornicator, or how's that work out?
So, Tom, I have a follow-up on Windsor Park apartment homes that someone called up about some problems. So, if you let me know if you want to go into that.
Okay, hold on. I wasn't listening.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second.
844-425-3669. NMLS 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender. Rates subject to change.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts.
Oh, Mary Jane called up because she was having some problems with her apartment at Windsor Windsor Peaks apartment. I just spoke to the manager and her on a three-way conversation. So I'll tell you what they said when you...
Did we take that call?
I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was off the air, you mean?
No, on the air. It was...
Okay, it was Windsor Peak.
It was Mary Jane Swanton was the caller.
How long ago?
Last week. We had been beginning this week.
Clearly just crumbled, as was always the fear that they didn't have the stomach for the fight. The small, hardcore elements who were prepared to stand and fight were just not enough against the resilience of the Taliban.
And we're not maintaining
Right.
She rents a townhome, not totally finished, and she was moved into another one. Right.
This is the one I spoke to Brad O'Brien about.
Now of the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation.
I would expect...
Okay, I do believe I got this. All right, for you people that didn't see the video yesterday of the neighbors that were boxing in the other neighbor's cars, her customers, she does nails at her house, which there is legal. There's no problem with doing nails there. It's street parking, and this lady, if one of her customer pulls up, she'll grab two of her cars and box it in. Here's a video they sent us.
To another location.
Excuse me, what's the problem? Oh, okay. In front of your house? This is street parking. This is street parking. You can do a driveway.
It doesn't matter. You have a driveway too.
Exactly, it doesn't matter.
Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681.
Doc, ask. Oh, there she is. Hey, do you log Jeff in as help? I don't know how she logs you in. Not you.
Do we have a new password for...
I sent it to you.
Okay, great, thanks.
You have it.
Thank you, sir.
I didn't know you checked though.
Yeah, no, I just use that with a call screener.
For him.
Yeah,
So I think when I changed that, it killed him.
This computer sucks. Okay, let me get you logged back into call screener. That's okay. It wasn't your fault. He changed everything on it, so.
Hey!
I'll get that call going, but I just want to know, is the roofer expecting our call? Is this a good update or what?
Well, it's he said, she said. So
okay, but does he want to come on and get his side?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I just want to be. If I'm surprising someone, I just like to know.
I think he was willing to come on.
Okay, perfect.
And it's German, German, not G-U, my mistake.
Okay, what is it again, Mark?
He's on the road.
Now, impact traffic.
So
This report is behind.
Hang on just a second, Jeff, and I'll just look at his sent. He just sent it to me.
maybe you sent it to me.
Yeah, just don't say it on the video, Tom, like that's what I almost did. Okay, yeah, I did have it. Oh, I did have it right. Maybe I just typed it wrong the first time.
Southbound I-25 still sluggish from earlier problems between 120th and 84th. Fox 31 pinpoint weather. A 40% chance for thunderstorms today. Look for a high of 88 and overnight low of 60. And for the weekend, temperature is expected to be in the low 90s with a slight chance of rain. Currently, it's 77. With your impact traffic.
Hey, did you get your battery going? Have you flown?
Yeah, I got it going. No, I haven't since that. I closed right before that with a truck with a.
They came out and jumped you.
Expanding the reach of intelligence with AI to drive in cloud clarity.
So how do you like test it? You just put it in, make sure it fucking works.
Oh, it works.
Okay. Did you get a nap in while I did all that?
I know, right?
This one, if you reboot it, so like over the weekend, whoever uses it on the weekend, which could be 100 people, I don't fucking know. I'll come in and I'll have to reboot it just because it's so fucked up. It will take 10 to 12 minutes to reboot the Windows. 10 to 12 minutes.
You know, a company this size, you wouldn't.
Hey man, up until a week ago, most of our seats had urine on them.
You get stuff. Look at what a great machine to get stuff that's.
Now I don't even know. You know what's funny? You go into the empty sales room, empty, and it's all brand new chairs, all brand new shit. Where there actually is people, it's the old shit. Did you ever think of that? You see all the beautiful new chairs in the sales area, the 8,000 of them that no one uses, and we have the fucking goddamn. Is there any common sense there?
Well, just move them in here.
Actually,
I know the difference.
I guarantee I would hear from somebody within. I don't know how they would even know, but within 10 minutes, I guarantee it.
Did you put a light bulb into them once?
Oh my God, yeah. Thanks to old Dan and Tom. They go, let's swap out these light bulbs. So they swap them out, and I grab the old ones, and I'm leaving. I don't even get 10 feet out of the door. Where are you guys taking the light bulbs? I mean, it was crazy. Then it became a whole thing, man. Michael Brown got involved.
It's the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What's on your mind today, and how can we help you? I like to ask that. It is a Friday. We do car day, and that's not mandatory we talk about cars, but if you need to talk about cars, we do. Is Brady still on line one, or is that a new call? I'm just wondering. Anyway, he had a question about his turbo. And in general, if you have car questions, give us a call. He's still on. Does he have an additional question or concern? If not, I think we handled it. 303-713-8255.
He has a comment.
All right, he has another comment. Go ahead, Brady. What's happening?
Hey, Tom. I was just listening to that gentleman, and I just wanted to add a little bit of information because I have a similar problem going on with my pickup. It's not a Duramax. It's actually a Cummins, but
oh, you're talking about the guy that has oil. You're not the one. You have a comment on it. Okay, Brady. So he said he had oil in the cold air intake of his Duramax truck. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the turbo seals tend to go out over time, but I don't know if it's the same on the Duramax, but on my Cummins, you can actually buy what's called the cartridge, and you can just take the exhaust housing and the compressor housing off, reuse them, bolt them back together, and call it a day.
Really?
So, so if he's still listening, that is an option, or he can just buy a new turbo.
Wait. You take those parts off and do what? Replace the seal?
Yeah, so it comes together. The seals are actually further internal. And you can buy a rebuild kit for even cheaper for that if you're that mechanically inclined. But I found the cartridge is what it's called. And you got the cold side, which is the compressor side, or the hot side, which is the turbine side. And you reuse those components, which makes it cheaper than buying an entire turbo.
Huh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good that you're saying it's not a major job.
Not necessarily. I mean, for my Cummins, my turbo is just right there, so I can just do it in, a couple hours and I'll be good. But, if the seals go out, it could also be a whole nother problem called blow-by, which your piston rings are failing and they're forcing that oil and the pressure through to the turbo. That could be a problem as well, but it doesn't sound like he has that type of issue. Just either a new turbo or that cartridge, and he'll be ready to rock and roll.
Thank you very much, Brady. Appreciate that.
All good comments.
Yeah, really good comments. Are diesels really popular still?
Yes, they're very, very popular, particularly for anybody who really works their trucks. They last longer. They're much, much stronger. And quite frankly, right now, thanks to the fuel costs, we're actually down below gasoline at this point. With the added technology over the years, I mean, I'm getting 18 miles to gallon in the city.
I'm seeing a lot less of diesel cars, though, right? Almost no diesel cars, am I right?
I mean, it's mainly in the trucks, but you can still get diesel cars.
Like, really? Like what? Like
Mercedes
used
still
or something?
has some.
Not new, though, right?
I haven't come. Well, yes, no, you can still get some Mercedes diesels.
Any new diesel cars? I'm going to go Google that. What are you saying?
Doesn't Volkswagen make some new ones?
Yep, Volkswagen.
Really? Okay.
Mercedes overseas definitely still makes some.
Let's see. Any brand new diesels? Huh.
You know what's weird thinking of diesel is a lot of times when we were just traveling back from somewhere, diesel is cheaper than gasoline. And like my entire life up until the last 2 years, it was a complete opposite. It's nuts.
Absolutely.
I'm not seeing any here. They're listing them. Hold on. I'm looking and it's saying every single one known to man. They're all SUVs or big trucks so far that I'm seeing.
Biden says we're going to
Jeep. No. Jeep finally made a diesel?
Yes, Jeep had some diesels.
Oh,
it was actually a pretty strong diesel. In all actuality, the transmissions had a huge problem trying to hold up to them.
Wow. Now, there's a 2021 Wrangler diesel. Base price $39,400. You won't touch that price at all anywhere, probably, because right now things are going. And the Jeep Gladiator, the Range Rover, but that's an SUV.
That's diesel?
Yes.
You can get it in diesel.
They even have the little. Listen to this. The little Land Rover. Range Rover Sport. That little one. That one, of course, the Sprinter van isn't a car. I'm looking for cars.
Hey, Jeff, when they talk, a diesel, you said 200,000 miles is barely broken in. Take like a F450, F550, I would agree with you. But how about like on these little Volkswagens? They don't get 1 million miles, do they?
Very seldom, no. I mean, first of all, it's a beach walking.
It's a what?
It's a beach walking, because that's all they do is they beat walking.
He hates Volkswagen.
Yeah, and Volkswagen, I mean, you got, like you say, most of their diesels are inside the European market. They had so much trouble with them. You remember the whole scandal with the emissions that Volkswagen had a while back. So most of that stuff has been removed from the American market right now. Everybody's staying away from it.
A lot of those people that didn't opt in for the buyback and decided to sue on their own over the emissions scandal, a lot of those people lost in court, man. They ended up with something they can't drive, can't register, and nothing from freaking VW.
Do you mean, now, is this true? In 2019, Chevy Cruze had a diesel? Is that possible?
I'm not familiar with it. But
and the Equinox? No way. Am I reading this wrong? The 10 best diesel cars you can buy. What? No. The Cruze, the Equinox, the GMC Terrain, okay. The Jaguar XE had a diesel? Yes, a small diesel, supercharged. I didn't even know this. This is 2019 Jaguar XF. Then you had the another Jaguar F. Range Rover, of course. But as far as cars, wow, no Mercedes listed here.
Are they all available in the U.S., or is that just European market?
They're saying in the U.S., but no more Mercedes diesels that I can find. No more, at least not in America that we can find. Annalise, or Anna-Ease?
Anna-Ease.
Anna-Ease. What's happening? Anna-Ease? Hold on. Are you there? Let's see if you can reestablish contact with her.
You want my follow-up on that apartment?
Okay, you have a follow-up on which one? On Mary Jane?
Mary Jane. This is interesting. Mary Jane rented a condo, and it was in a condo unit. She couldn't move in.
Wyndham Peak Apartment Home.
Wyndham Peak Apartment Home.
A townhome, not totally finished. What did she mean by that?
Well, she couldn't move into apartment A, so they put her into another apartment somewhere else, did not charge her rent for the month. Then they moved into the apartment where she is now, and she's been having a lot of problems with maintenance issues.
Is this the one where it was tile or was torn
It's with
out?
plumbing, with a washer dryer, etc.
What happened?
I had a three-way conversation with Mary Jane and Marcella, who's a property manager, and they were going back and forth. Marcella has promised that all of the things that Mary Jane listed will be done in 2 weeks. So we're going to give her the 2 weeks to get everything done, and then I will follow up and see if she keeps her word.
So you called, and they said 2 weeks.
We had a three-way conversation.
No, I got it.
So we'll give her 2 weeks, and then we'll go back and revisit.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm writing that down. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so we have John coming up. John, if you can hang on, 303-713-TALK. We have more coming up.
Do you have at least one electrical project you've been putting off? Don't delay. Call JM Electric. If you need electrical for your new car charger, hot tub, or an electrical panel change, call JM Electric. They get the job done right with professional, on-time service at affordable prices. For all your electrical needs, call JM Electric at 303-366-4975. That's 303-366-4975. Or visit jmelectricinc.com. JM Electric. Quality service you can count on.
You know, there's a million different places you can get countertops, but when Suzanne and I wanted to redo our kitchen and our laundry room, our bathroom even, we always call Mitch Fleury at the Art of Granite. This guy is unbelievable. His pricing is great. His service is great. He is one of the best fabricators I've ever seen. Our kitchen is just absolutely gorgeous. Our laundry room, he put in one of those gigantic sinks, the best cabinets, the best countertops. TheArtofGranite.com.
Yes, and did you hear him just say cabinets? Anyway,
hey.
Okay. Listen, Genesis Total Exteriors, we've told you about for years, a home improvement company, more interior and exterior, right? Okay, so Mark Szymanski started a solar company too. The same dependability as Genesis Total Exteriors. It's called GenesisSolarCO.com, GenesisSolarCO.com. And here's the deal. They will guarantee 25 years of all components and 25 years of performance. Now, you can call them for details, but it involves actually writing you a check if they don't save you what they promise. And they do a 20-minute site valuation to see how much solar you'll produce and if it's worth it. And it's free and it's off-site, and they can do it in just 20 minutes. GenesisSolarCO.com, 303-474-4317, 474-4317.
If you're relocating your business, whether upsizing or downsizing, whether a handful of employees or a couple thousand, Bueller Moving and Storage will help. And I mean Bueller will handle everything for you. Packing the office, setting up the new space, including computers and monitors, cleaning the old space so you don't have to. I have personally used Bueller Moving and Storage, and I can tell you, regardless of where you're moving, residential or commercial, big or small, they move it all. Learn more at BuellerCompanies.com. That's BUEHLER Companies.com.
Here in Colorado, things are a little grander.
Stars a little closer.
Love a little deeper.
And celebrations a little brighter.
At Williams Jewelers, we know that living and loving a mile high is a privilege in itself.
But it's the people we do it with that matter most.
As Denver's first family of fine jewelers, our history runs deep.
Over 70 years deep.
So when it's time to say thank you, I miss you, I'm proud of you, or I love you,
say it with something that sparkles in the sun at Williams Jewelers,
where Colorado shines. I'm Shayna Williams.
And I'm Shayna's dad, Steve Williams, inviting you to Williams Jewelers of Inglewood.
We've built one of the largest jewelry stores in America with one vision.
To be the only jeweler you will ever need.
Williams Jewelers.
Where Colorado shines.
Williams Jewelers, we can make diamonds a part of gold.
Williams Jewelers of Inglewood, on the corner of Bellevue and Broadway, where Colorado shines.
Tune into The Mortgage Doctor this and every weekend. When it's time to buy a new home, lower your house payment, consolidate your debts, Steve Haney is The Mortgage Doctor and the go-to guy in Colorado. The Mortgage Doctor Show, Saturday mornings at 6 and Saturday afternoons at 3.
Hi, it's Mandy Connell. Join my friends Gary Bell and Brad Pollock for the Bell and Pollock Legal Show right here on KHOW every Saturday morning at 7. It's a live call-in show to give Coloradans like you free legal advice on any topic you'd like to discuss with them.
Napa know-how.
At Napa, get a $10 gift card when you buy a 5-quart jug of Mobil 1 motor oil for $27.99. A deal so rich, they'll call you an oil tycoon. Yep, with great oil for $27.99 and $10 back. All you'll need is a monocle. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating locations does not include state local taxes or recycling fees. Advertised sales price may not be available in some states. Rebate restrictions apply. Offer ends 8/31/21.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is, you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell is here to help. For more than 30 years, Cordell & Cordell has been there to guide men through all aspects of divorce. And we'll be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Colorado area attorneys. 8101 East Prentice Avenue, Suite 475, Greenwood Village, Colorado, 80111.
At the showroom, it's all about more. More designer galleries, more inspiration, more unique possibilities. And during the anniversary sale, you'll find every sofa, dining table, and bed on sale. Find huge savings on the largest selection of rugs and accessories in the Mountain West. Plus, get 5 years no interest and free shipping. There's always more to love at the showroom. Colorado's largest selection of sofas, sectionals, and leather at the lowest prices guaranteed.
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union.
Mostly sunny skies and, hey, a little less smoke for your Friday. Temperatures in the upper 80s with a good chance for some showers and thunderstorms by later on this afternoon, some of which could become severe. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Team meteorologist Kylie Burse.
Westera Credit Union. Selected as one of the 5 best in-state credit unions in Colorado by Forbes 2 years in a row. More info at westeracu.com. That's westeracu.com.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-8255. Jeff Vick is with us from transmissionsdenver.com. And Anais, what is happening now with this motel? Hello, Anna?
Well, basically, this is what it is. Hello? Are you there?
I'm here, dear. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, so I've been staying at this motel for over 2 months. I had a charity helping me pay weekly.
Who is helping you pay? Who is helping you? Who is helping you pay?
Family Tree.
Okay.
Family Tree. They're also known as Hope House.
How long have you been?
They had paid up. Staying here over 2 months.
Okay.
So what's going on?
So about 5 days ago, they said that for non-payments that they were evicting me.
Okay, which 2 months, Anna? You got what 2 months did Family Tree pay for?
They just paid this last month.
Just the past month, 1 month.
Right.
And that's when, okay, you're talking about, Anna, they paid for July?
Yes. Basically, yes.
Okay, and then and you were there before that. Who paid before that?
Myself.
And you did pay in June?
No, in June, I paid, I'm on a permanent disability, so I'm on a fixed income. So I paid that, and then I also would try to do odd jobs, scrapping and stuff with friends in order to make the rent.
I understand, Anna. That's all I'm asking. So you paid June rent, and the and then the Family Tree paid July rent.
Right.
Okay. Then what?
5 days ago they said they were going to evict me for non-payment of rent because they were saying I was not paid. Well, then I came. So they evicted me. I come to find out that.
Okay. Next question, Anna. Anna? Hold on. My logical question. Listen, you paid for June. Family Tree paid for July. Who paid for August?
No, that they were paid up through 4 days ago.
Well, hold on. 4 days ago. So hold on.
That's when they evicted me.
Hold on. I need to know this. This is very important. It's a very simple question. When did when Family Tree, you said, paid for July?
No. So what they paid for through July up through August 10th.
Okay, got it.
That's the entire month, right?
Okay.
Now,
they paid for July through August 10th. Got it.
Right. And they evicted me.
Hold on. Well, first of all, I thought there was an eviction moratorium, and maybe it doesn't apply to motels. But one thing I need to ask, they paid through August 10th. Did you pay after that?
I was paying at the same time the last week, through August 10th.
Well, what do you mean paying? What do you mean paying at the same time? If Family Tree was paying up till August 10th, what were you paying for?
I was paying for the room because I did not know. They were telling me that it wasn't paid.
And you were paying since when? When did you start paying for that room?
As soon as I've got receipts for 3 consecutive days on my card, which were, I believe it was the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th. And then I paid in cash.
Okay, so Anna, are you saying, Anna, I need to ask very simple questions. Are you saying that you yourself paid for August 1st through August 10th at the same time Family was paying, the Family Tree, and they were getting double paid? Is that what you're saying?
Basically for the last week through August 10th, for that last week.
Okay.
So they were getting double paid.
Okay. Now, for that last week they were double paid. Do they know they were double paid, or do they not agree?
Yes. No, they know they were double paid.
Okay. So come August 10th, by my math, you were probably due another week before you had to start paying.
When it was actually...
Anna, on August 10th, they evicted you. Is that right? Okay. We're having such a hard time communicating.
Why? I always think of
her phone keeps cutting in and out. I don't think it's not that she doesn't want to answer me. I don't think she's hearing me. Go ahead.
If she wants to stay and pay, why wouldn't they want her to? I mean, I just go to the logic thing. If she is paying, why would they kick her out?
Well, I don't know.
They're a motel.
We got to figure it out. I suspect, Mark, the bottom line is she doesn't have money for rent.
Well, I would guess so, too.
I mean, and they're saying... And
how come 2 months she hasn't had a job? I'd like to ask her that. I don't know. Maybe she's disabled. I don't know.
Permanent disability.
Oh, she's
on permanent disability. Well, okay. But we have to figure it out, a better plan even. I want to help her figure out a better plan than just this stupid motel. So, Anna, are you there again? Let me just try again. Are you there? Suze, Anna's not there, right? Okay. I don't know what to do, Anna, if we can't talk. I'd love to talk to you. And I often listen, do you know what we don't know? Most people listen to my radio show. Really, we have a pretty sophisticated demographic, it's called. That's the set of characteristics of my audience. They're pretty sophisticated for the most part. They have money, jobs, education. Then we have a segment that needs help desperately, and they don't. Then we have another segment that only calls when they need help, of course, and they're totally desperate. I don't think we as a people know, when we go to bed at night and lay our head down, we don't know how many people are struggling just to find a place to sleep.
Oh, my God, if you look outside this country, it's amazing. I'd say inside this country, a lot of... I don't think there's as many as there is in pretty much any other part of the world.
I don't know, but I do know that we have a serious problem. Now, that
do you count homeless people in the people?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of them have a place to sleep.
Well, I understand, but it's not automatic, Doc. Now, and I'm again not saying we throw down all the stops and just fund with money. I mean, we can't.
It doesn't work. It doesn't matter.
A lot of it's addiction, blah, blah, blah. But there are so many people struggling right now. So many. The question is why? And the question is, what can we do about it? I I mean, you can't just hand out money. Okay, when you enable people like they're doing in California, and for a good part here, it doesn't help people. When you let them camp and do anything they want, I mean, obviously, okay, they can sleep in their tent or their makeshift shack or their lean-to, but does it really solve a problem? No, it just eases your conscience.
Or it makes it worse.
Yeah, okay, it could. It eases conscience. It does not solve a problem. Does anyone have ideas? I'm serious. We all bitch and moan about problems, or the opposite. We say, let them camp and let them do this and let them do that. But I'm wondering if Mayor Hancock or any other official or any of you listening, do you have, and I'm serious when I'm asking this, any ideas for solutions?
Well, solutions for what? I mean, we had a mayor right before Hancock that would put them on a bus before winter and get them a one-way bus ticket to California, hoping they wouldn't come back, but they always made their way back to homeless. So when you say, what are you looking for?
Any and all. Any and all ideas.
No, but ideas for what? How to fix homelessness in general, or how to fix it in Denver?
No, let's just talk in general for people. What can we do for people?
I mean, don't you think a lot of them want to live that way? They don't want to have a job. They rather do drugs. They rather do whatever they're doing.
There are, and if there are people who want to choose homelessness, they should be
vagabonds.
They should be able to. And really, if they want to choose homelessness, of course, we're not talking about people who live in vans and RVs. They want to do that.
Well, like the old hobos that would ride the rail. I mean, that was a real deal, right? They had a stick and they put stuff in the stick and
maybe we should go. Does anyone ever go and really, really, truly, honest to God, interview homeless people?
I don't want to get stabbed.
Or get COVID or whatever.
Or anything, yeah. Have you seen some of those off the highway? You just drive down I-70, like if you get onto 6th Avenue, it's tent city, man. It goes for a half a mile thick. Are you going to walk through there?
Oh, it's even worse down in Colorado Springs along the river.
I would like to ask questions. Maybe we should hear. If we hear enough homeless stories, is there anywhere you can hear homeless stories?
We had one lady call in, and she had a tent in Colorado Springs. In fact, you were out, and I was doing the show. And I don't remember why, but she called in. I said, well, what do you want? What would help you right now? It was right before Christmas. You know what she said? She said, I could use batteries and candles. So I grabbed my daughter, Addie, and we drove down there that weekend and brought her a crap load of candles and batteries. And I said, why candles? Because I had no idea. They can put one candle in a tent, one single candle, and light it. And I've heard this with a car, actually, as well. And that can keep them warm enough. And I said, well, can we help you find a job or anything else? She didn't want a job. She liked living down by the river in Colorado Springs as long as she had batteries and as long as she had candles. I mean, she liked it, Tom. I don't know how else to put it. She didn't want a job. Maybe she didn't like it, but she didn't want to change it by working or doing anything else. And honestly, she was a nice woman, but I think she's just mental. I mean, I think that's the biggest problem.
All right. If Anna Ease wants to call us back, we'll take your call. We'll try to help you. If you have any ideas, I'm serious. You know, the Bible says wisdom and much counsel, meaning the more we talk about it, maybe we find a solution, maybe not. And I know government has tried, but they always do it wrong. Always, always, always. The government always throws money at things.
Well, you know, Ben Shapiro has a simple solution.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Spa Palace.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, our latest issue coming in is a crash on I-70 westbound between Kipling and Ward Road. Watch for some slower traffic as you work your way through that stretch. And a heads up, the ramp from westbound I-70 onto Ward Road is closed right now through 5 a.m. Monday morning for road construction. So just be aware of that. I-25 slowing southbound through downtown, but no accident.
They moved them during the All-Star game from over by Coors Field. So you didn't get any of that national attention. Where the hell did they put them at?
Yeah, where did that?
Our old mayor, in fact, this mayor might have too, when I had my Peoria store at Montbello, about once a year they'd all disappear, man. They just all disappear before winter. And then I'd see them back in about 5 or 6 months, and they all told me they get bus tickets from the city to go to California so they didn't have to spend the winter.
guys.
Send them to Hawaii.
If you need a new heating and air system, don't wait until it gets really into the winter. There will be some shortages. People need help now. And you know there's component shortages. Fix It 24/7 has stocked up on parts and systems. They're offering new HVAC systems starting at just $77 a month. Now call for details on your house. Every single amount is going to be quoted up front. Call right now, 720-526-3939. No one should wait for an estate plan. BlakeHarrisLaw.com makes it easy because he has established a number, even a TikTok channel where he answers all kinds of questions free of charge. His number, 833-ASK-BLAKE. You can call and ask any question you want. You can look him up on TikTok and other social media. You can look him up at referralist.com and also an interview at 303consumer.com. Blake Harris Law, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Kauai actually has a pretty decent homeless problem.
Oh, well, they do, but what's he doing? What's amazing, though, I'm trying to think. I would say Oahu is where I saw it the absolute most. So we were over on the North Shore staying, but we had a rental car, so we drove around the island numerous times. And what was amazing is at least the homeless, if you really look for them, they were everywhere. But they'd be back behind the trees right off the beach where there's, you know, bathrooms and stuff, facilities they could use. And someone told me you can't block anybody in Hawaii. So even if you got a 5-star resort with the beachfront, they can block them from coming like through the hotel and on the land side of the property. But if they come down the beach, you can't.
Right.
The beach is free to everybody.
Right.
So, but I saw a lot of little tent cities in the
yeah, and the cops will actually, because they'll start to congregate in one area,
yeah,
they'll disperse them and then they actually make them move to different areas just so they don't end up always being seen at the
with
same
a big
place.
tent city. Yeah. But there is actually a shitload, but you got to kind of, they're like hidden. It's like they hide in the jungle.
A lot of them are all the micronauts.
What are micronauts?
When they did all the nuclear testing up in Micronesia, the government ended up giving them all freaking money and plane tickets to get them out to freaking Hawaii.
Well, wait, I don't understand. What does that mean? They like tested what? Nukes on them?
They were doing nuclear testing.
Like radiation on them?
Well, not on the people themselves, but the areas where they were living became dangerous for them to stay, so they literally shipped them off to Hawaii.
I got you, and they ended up being homeless in Hawaii. Holy shit, man. That's my favorite part, though. I know you go there. Your brother's there, right?
I haven't been there. I was supposed to go there last year, if you remember.
We were, too,
Yeah, and so I haven't seen him now in, let's see, my mom died in 2015. He came out in 2016. That's the last time I saw him.
That North Shore, so we've been there. We've been to Maui. We've been to Kiwi. What the fuck's it called? Kauai. Is that it? Yeah. So last year we were supposed to go to the other two, the Big Island, and then I can't think of the name of the other one. We were going to do a 2-week deal, one at each. But anyhow, we couldn't go last year because of COVID. But my favorite so far is that fucking North Shore, man.
Yeah.
I fucking love the North Shore.
Very good.
Yeah, like yesterday, and the funny part was what I read was even worse than that. It was between 40 and 110, so I guess 70 is right there in the middle. 70,000, Shannon, we talked about it a little yesterday, but each homeless person cost us somewhere between $40,000 and $110,000
I think it was
in Colorado.
44,000.
Or Denver. Actually, I gotta say it was Denver. And then prisoners were 40-something, each inmate. And then they were talking about per school child. What do you think it is?
17,000.
It's about 20 grand. So it's like we spend more on the homeless, up to 3 times more than we do on our own kids. I mean,
doesn't surprise me.
It's so stupid, man.
So, yeah, I live in North Shore too.
Oh.
I go over there, because I like to go out deep sea fishing when I go out there.
Oh man, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's just so beautiful, and it's quiet. Wahoo's like, it's cool for a little bit, but man, it's like being in New York City, basically.
Oh yeah, no, especially when you get into Waikiki and.
Oh, yeah. It's cool to go see the old places, maybe do a little bar hopping, some bullshit, but man, the North Shore is the bomb.com. We stayed literally right on the beach that trip too, which was unbelievable.
Martino here, 303.
No,
hey, you said right now.
So actually, I still have a fishing charter paid for.
Do you really?
Yeah,
no refund. You got to just use it. Okay, go, Tommy.
I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk. Jim's got a comment on homelessness. I would really, look, we know there's not an easy answer, and we know that not all answers are going to fit all people. Some people are homeless because they don't want to be. It was suddenly onset. What happened? They live paycheck to paycheck. They lost a job or they got sick. Some others, it's a lifestyle. Who knows? Jim, what do you think?
Homelessness is not a financial problem, and that's a lie that we tell ourselves. Homelessness is a cultural problem. I'm going to take you on a brief thought experiment.
Very smart, very smart. I think in probably 98% of the cases. Go ahead.
What would it take for you personally to be homeless? Now, let's go down that road. If I burned everything you owned, every house, every car, all your money, all your credit cards, I take you, I extract you, I drop you off in a place you've never been before. I assure you, you have a friend, a neighbor, a relative, a coworker, a loved one, someone who will aid you and assist you if you can access a phone.
Yeah, but hold on. The scenario
let him finish, though. That's real. That's
right.
Good.
It's very good. I just wanted to say something. The scenario that you're presenting is someone who has a lot and it's all taken away. In reality, those who have a lot, it never gets taken away overnight. Never. Okay? So you get to that point, and here's what I've always said, Jim. People don't react quick enough when they are in trouble. Now, we're talking about, in my mind...
I don't think that's his point at all.
No. His point is that you're going to bounce back. And I'm going to let him continue. But the point, I just wanted to make a distinction. We have two different types of people. Those who want to be homeless or just don't care, and the ones who don't want to be and end up that way. Go ahead, Jim.
My point is not that you will bounce back. My point is that everybody, every pro-social, mentally stable, non-addicted person has a friend, neighbor, or relative who will help them. They'll let them sleep on their sofa or stay in their garage or even sleep in their car. But when you get to the point that you are living a street homelessness, that is because every human who you have ever met, you have burned that trust. You have destroyed that trust.
I agree.
Everyone.
I agree so much with this guy.
Yeah, you're pretty smart. You're right. You're right.
The solution. And
why?
And again,
why?
This is simple. So the problem, again, is it's sad to say. The reality is everyone is not born equal. Some people are smarter. Some people are more ambitious. Some people are healthier. And the reality is, what do you do with the population who are not as smart, not as ambitious, mentally ill, exposed to trauma? They don't. Even if you gave them $1 million, they are not going to be able to procure housing long term. So it's not a financial issue. It's really a cultural issue.
So what do we do about it? What do we do?
What would you do about it if you could wave your magic wand?
Education's one thing, but we all say that. And then, I don't know, do you think all of this is environmental, how kids are raised? Or do you think it's actually, and I'm saying something, and I don't mean this in any way, shape, or form as far as ethnicity or anything else, but do you think people are just born with different abilities?
Thank you for bringing up ethnicity. I love this. There is no one harder working or more ambitious than the illegal migrant. They are the hardest working, most ambitious person in the world. Go down to Denver. Look at the people who poop in buckets and live in the street. See if any of them essentially came into the country in the last year illegally. No. Those hardworking, ambitious people who come across the border unlawfully, they have housing. Every single one of them.
And they came over here to make a better life.
Well, is it DNA? What is it? What is it? Is it environmental? Is it... when you say cultural, what exactly do you mean? The way someone grew up?
So when I say cultural, I say what has changed in the United States since 1987? In 1987, did we have this many people living on the streets of Denver in tents?
Well, no, but
no.
then the sheer population grew. But what was your point about 1987?
So my point is, what has changed with the Denver metro area since 1987? And the answer is culture. Casper, Wyoming does not have a homeless population. That will not happen. It will never happen.
What changed? Tell me what. Just say it in plain
our
English.
Government changed.
No, in plain English.
There is an acceptability that it's okay. So what changed is we see the person on the street. Years ago, Benjamin Franklin essentially said that people who are impoverished need to be uncomfortable in their poverty. And what we have done with the government is create a comfort level with poverty. I think it's important to note that that lady that you spoke to, there's some organization that was giving her money to stay at her hotel. It's not that these organizations don't exist. It's that the people milk them until they run out. So what's changed is culturally. Culturally, in 1987, if you saw a homeless street person, your mentality was get a job, get off the street. And if they pitched a tent in your yard, you called the cops and the cops took them away. Now, it's a kindler, gentler world where we let people poop in a bucket in your front yard.
I know what you're saying. When things are more acceptable, we have a tendency, if we are lazy in thought, mind, and deed, to gravitate toward things that are easier and say, well, what the hell, everyone's doing it, or it doesn't matter anymore. Whereas if it's culturally unacceptable, we will have a tendency to try to whip ourselves into shape. In this culture today, in America today, the idea of whipping yourself into shape is considered hateful. You can be anything you want. And the truth is, you shouldn't be anything you want just because you can be. Hold on, we'll come back. And you don't hang up, Jim. I'm Tom Martino.
Tell your smart device to play 630 KHOW on iHeartRadio. Then you can hear news and talk that impacts your life.
Getting 630 KHOW from iHeartRadio.
Denver's talk station. Available on over 2,000 devices. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Gravina's Window Center.
From the Betfred Sports Traffic Center, our latest issue coming in is a crash on I-70 westbound between Kipling and Ward Road. Watch for some slower traffic as you work your way through that stretch.
The problems I'm having now isn't pain. It's a 30, okay. I don't know why I thought theirs were 60s. No. You know, a lot of us know someone that lives in pain, and for the life of me, I don't understand why they do. Now, I'm not going to say all people will always have an answer to pain, but Colorado Pain Care, Sports and Spine, that's all these guys do. In fact, I know someone really close to me right here in the studio that has dealt with pain for 25 plus years on some aspects, and he finally got down there, and honestly, I see the difference every morning, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking with Tom. These guys take Medicare. They're just great guys. All insurance, Medicare, but the entire group is dedicated to one thing, helping you with pain. 303-GOT-PAIN. Just call them 303-GOT-PAIN.
No, but that fishing charter, because they literally shut us down. I think it was a week before we were supposed to go.
Oh, that sucks.
And I'd already paid for it, because it was me, my dad, and my brothers.
They canceled it.
So, no, I called them because so I don't know what your policy is. It's well, shit. This isn't.
Keep going.
This isn't your fault. So I mean, I'll refund it. And, if they actually shut it down, well, it wasn't hours later they shut everything down. So I called the guy back and said, my brother lives on that fucking island. It's not like I'm not gonna come back out there. Why don't you hold it and then
Oh, that was cool of you for him too.
Yeah, no, because he was in a war because he was shut down for some
Yeah, you can't do shit.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's been a price increase since then. So we'll probably have some sort of difference when we get out there.
Or he'll be cool and say, hey, that was cool of you to not beat me up along with the other 500 cancellations.
Yeah, well, because you figure it's $1,500 for the day, and then you usually tip 20%.
I did that once. Suzanne and I, we were in not Cabo. Yeah, it was Cabo San Lucas, and it was just her and I on this. She basically went along for the ride. We went marlin fishing, and I caught one, man. And what I did not realize about that kind of fishing is holy fudge, is it hard. It's crazy, man. The guy on the boat, if it wasn't for him, there is no way I would have ever brought this fish in. He'd start backing the boat so I could get it up, and then it would run. Really, all you're doing is wearing the fish out. That's all you're doing, man. I used to, in Jersey, we used to go blue fishing. They'd bring us out on a boat, be about 50 of us, man, and they'd throw chum over these big old blues like this, man. That was kind of fun fishing. But that's throw it in, bring it up. It's constant.
I think the most fun I had was with San Francisco. We went out there and we were fishing in the shallows for the sharks.
What are they?
In the shallows.
For sharks?
Uh-huh. We were fly fishing for sharks.
No shit.
That was a kick in the ass.
Did you catch one?
3.
What are they, like little hammerheads or what?
No, most of them were like gray tips or black tips and white tips. And
how big?
The biggest one we caught was about 8 foot. Yeah.
That's a big fish, man.
But I tell you what, they are actually hard to get to strike. They're actually really fucking skittish. Really skittish.
So I caught that marlin, we got it in, and when we got back to the port, or whatever it's called, the beach, a guy with a restaurant bought it from me, and it basically covered the entire trip, which I was like, oh, that's cool. So I guess a lot of times you don't catch anything. I mean, I don't know with marlins. So.
Well, Cabo's a little bit different. So it's one of the more popular areas to go for marlin.
That's why we went.
Yeah, I mean, and now in Hawaii, you're only allowed to keep so much of your own fish, and then the rest of it stays with the boat, and that's actually law.
Oh, and the boat can do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, they'll turn around and sell it to the market. But the reason being is they wanted to be able to control who was bringing the fish into the market.
Smart. No, I like Hawaii. In fact, the one thing every time I leave there, I go, man, maybe I would want to retire here. Maybe I would.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, but it's still, man, it's like that weather is like, God, there's no other place like it. It's like 84 all the time. It's crazy, man. The people are really cool and laid back. I think you could run a pretty decent, I'd call it like a retirement business. I don't know what I'd want to do, but maybe buy a big catamaran and do something. Or
hell, it's Hawaii. Sell food.
Anything.
If it's edible, they'll eat it.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you got to put spam in it.
They have that little tiger shrimp place by the North Shore, man. They have all these ponds. God, those are delicious. Nothing to do with the ocean either. They're just like these shrimp, man, and they're delicious.
The shrimp trucks?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and it's some of the best food on the island.
We even did that stupid, what is it, Dole pineapples? We did that too.
Yeah,
I can't hear
Did
him.
you take a helicopter through the canyons, Mark?
Hey, see if we're up. I don't know.
Mark, did you take a helicopter through the canyons?
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay.
Let's talk and try to help you. Now, here's what I want. I want everyone to call about anything they need help with, but we really, truly need to discuss homeless. We do. What causes it? Jim says it's cultural. I'm going to take Jim and then Antoine. Jim says it's not money. You give somebody money, they'll be right back on the street. It's more cultural. Maybe they don't know. Jim, so how do you attack something that's cultural?
That's a darn good question.
And by the way, you mean cultural, not ethnic. However, there are certain cultures common to certain ethnicities, and it's not being hateful to say that.
Don't confuse race and gender and culture. I mean, when I say culture, I mean individual culture, the culture of that individual who chooses to live on the street, not necessarily his ethnic background.
So
I don't
culture,
think it matters where his grandma grew up.
You're talking about culture, and we have now made it more acceptable, and I hate to say this, to be crazy and to do anything you want. Right now, I get, by the way, not having a child feel terrible. And by the way, I never did think it was right to make a child feel terrible if they're attracted to the same sex, okay? And don't make a little boy feel terrible for feeling like a girl or a girl feeling like a boy. I don't want to get into that. But in hopes of not making children feel terrible, we've gone too far. For example, we now will let people think they start making up genders. I mean, for God's sakes, they just start making things up, and we say, oh, it's okay. I mean, I'm wondering truly, would it be okay with ants if somebody identified as a black man? They didn't go through his freaking life, but they'll say, yeah, I'm identifying as a black man. I just feel that way. I mean, there's got to be a limit to it, but we have made everything acceptable. Do you think, Jim, or
easy?
No, you're 100% right that we have definitely a lot. If you want to see street prostitution, let people do it, and it will expand, and it will grow. If you want to see a growth in homelessness, let people do it, and it will expand. And
you see, here's what's funny, is when you have this laissez-faire attitude, it caves in on itself. Because this idea, by the way, of sex workers now, not whores, not prostitutes, not sluts, we're talking sex workers, and it's not their fault. But when you really talk about it, it's exploitation, and then somebody will say, but they choose to do it. But why do they choose to do it? Because they don't have other options, or they don't believe they have other options, or they believe it's acceptable. Just like dancing, all that. I'm not talking about artistic and real, I'm talking about just strippers who really just get a guy off on his lap. I mean, come on. Now you want to call it sex workers and make it okay, go ahead. But then don't talk to me about the Me Too movement. I mean, people are getting too many mixed signals. So I don't know what we do. Is there a such thing, Jim, as common sense?
Common sense is dead, but here's the one thing that we shouldn't do, because we already know it doesn't work. If you want to know how housing projects are successful, look at Cabrini Green or the Pink Houses of New York, where there was a program in St. Louis where when you take people who have a similar not great culture and you put them condensed in a small area,
it's called the project.
That area goes to junk.
Now, I wanted to say something he said, though, Tom. Listen, I want to give the full quote. This is from Benjamin Franklin, and this I've heard numerous times, but basically he says, quote, I am for doing good to the poor, but I think the best way of doing good to the poor is not making them easy in poverty, but leading or driving them out of it. I observed that the more public provisions were made for the poor, the less they provided for themselves and the poorer they got.
Jim, I want you to hang on. Antoine, can you hang on for a few minutes, sir? Or can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hang on.
Thank you. I'll be back with more. I'm Tom
Martino. Hey, we'll do whatever topic you want, but this is something we have to talk about, the ultimate consumer issue.
You should, you can't make it easy on people.
People often ask what the secret is to the many large
My son said something. I don't want to say online, but
I tell them that our traffic is the truth. Our clients are very
injured because of someone else's recklessness, and we do whatever it takes to make sure that their true story is told and proven. And because our cause is true, the compensation is large. Call me at 303-907-5003 or hit dancaplisslaw.com. That's dancaplisslaw.com.
Whether it's offering curbside or next-day delivery for online orders on over 160,000 parts or getting involved in their local communities, when it comes to serving you, Napa's motor never quits. That's Napa know-how.
It's Brian with Advanced Mudjacking. Does COVID have you home and you're noticing sinking concrete, interior floors, garage, patio? We can fix it. Call Advanced Mudjacking, 303-424-9441. Advanced Mudjacking at yahoo.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts. All in one.
ABC News, I'm Ika Giacchi. They're underway. The CDC Advisory Committee meeting right now on crafting guidelines about who with weaker immune systems should get a COVID booster shot. The FDA gave approval for COVID boosters overnight. The Pentagon is sending 3,000 troops back to Afghanistan to help evacuate U.S. embassy personnel and others in the capital, Kabul. The Taliban's military is on a roll, says ABC's Ian Pannell.
In just 1 week, they've taken at least 15 provincial capitals, including most of its major cities. Most Afghan forces being overrun, either surrendering or defecting. Some fear the Taliban...
But it's too easy, and kids are getting confused.
You're absolutely right.
They're just getting confused.
Well, when you tell a kid, hey, what are you, a boy or a girl, and they're 3 years old, I mean, I can't even imagine getting asked that question.
No,
I just never even heard of anything.
I'm eating my poopy. It's not acceptable. I mean...
I have somebody wanting a referral for timeshare. Somebody will get that.
Send them Finn right now.
You know, I never delivered a baby.
Like
that wasn't
literally,
a
have them
girl.
call right now.
She told me Finn quit the practice.
What do you mean?
That's what she told me. He quit the practice over a year ago, and the new owner's not happy. Da 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 da.
Okay, still have them call right now.
Wait. So he'll never do it?
Never do what?
He's not doing it anymore?
No, he sold his whole practice.
Oh, does the other guy do it?
Yeah.
Japan's defense minister today visited a Tokyo shrine viewed by China and both Koreas as a
So,
Japanese war.
that undercover or secretly recorded video of the head of the border crisis is unfucking believable.
I didn't hear it.
He says, here, let me just read it.
And somebody recorded him undercover?
It's headlines. Yeah, I mean, it's like...
but it's not probably headlines on CNN.
I don't even look there, but let me find it really.
I haven't watched the news since April of 2020. None of it.
Anyhow, what it says is it's just not sustainable. Like literally not sustainable.
No, I don't want it. I got pizza. I got pizza.
Okay, cool, thank you.
It's just unbelievable.
When I was up until college, I never knew they were gay people. Did you? In high school, I never knew that.
No, but I don't. And I, honest to God, though, I think it's perfect. I do think I don't care. I mean, I really don't care.
There's no doubt that there is some people that are born the opposite sex. I mean, I truly believe that.
Oh, me too.
I don't think
I met boys.
I think
and you know that, and I knew, and they turned out to be gay, and I knew it. We knew it when they were 8.
I think a lot of them, though. I think there's a lot of people that just want to be gay. I mean, that sounds crazy.
I never thought of that. I
don't know, man. I don't know.
I never thought that. I think there's something in them, and I don't know what it is. There's just something. It's just.
Well, it goes through the other parts of the animal kingdom.
That's
too.
right.
Okay, hold on. Now I got to. Yeah.
Westera Credit Union, selected as one of the 5 best in-state credit unions in Colorado by Forbes 2 years in a row. More info at westeracu.com. That's westeracu.
My best friend said that to me. He said, you know what? If it wasn't the sex, it would be great to be gay. We'd play poker together, we'd play golf together. You know?
I thought about being gay once. I mean, what's the worst part? The sex? I mean, yeah, it's 2 guys. How long can that take?
What did Seinfeld say? They had he was telling Elaine, you're not going to be able to turn a gay guy straight because, they have the same equipment. They know how to use the equipment. So it's very quick.
And, the gay community screwed themselves over. I mean, particularly with guys. Particularly with guys. I mean, okay, honey, I love you. I'd love to marry you, but it's just not legal. Guess what?
Oh, they could have just used that as the excuse.
Get started today at AspenwoodDental.com. That's AspenwoodDental.com. And private real estate. Multiple offers in 72 hours. Guaranteed. It's the Dan Kaplan Show. Afternoons 4 to 6. Friday at 4. You'll find the surrender of Afghanistan to Islamic terrorists.
I'll say, if I ever got injured in an accident, seriously, I would want capless.
Shit, no, I'd pull Fuller, man.
As much as capless is a-hole sometimes, it's hard to beat him when it comes to...
First of all, he's a great guy. He's got a pretty big firm, though. The chances of you dealing directly...
You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. We deal in a lot of consumer issues, and really, the homeless issue is an ultimate consumer issue, in my opinion. By the way, this hour brought to you by Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, who will do free market valuations of your home to see what it will sell for in this market. Way more accurate than an appraisal and even Zillow, because it tells you what he has done based on his 26 years experience. It's all free for the asking. It's very detailed with no obligation to list. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. One of the issues, homelessness. Why is there so much more of it? Why are there so many more people just camping everywhere? Why are we afraid to say anything to people? Through my years, I have found that there are people who want to be homeless. They want the lifestyle. They truly don't care about what we care about. Then there are others who find themselves that way for lack of planning, and those are very few of them. But in general, we've been talking about the problem. And Jim called in and said it was cultural. He says, when you make things more acceptable, then people don't fight against it, or people don't fight to keep themselves out of it or away from it, and they fall into it. What were you going to say, Mark?
Well, this all started because a woman called up talking about the hotel. She just emailed me.
Yeah.
So here's really the whole deal. The motel kicked her out for not paying rent, but she said that this is crazy.
I have it written down.
She's saying the owner pushed and assaulted me and won't let me back in. Inglewood police refused to do anything, not even give her a citation because they didn't witness it. Now I'm sitting outside on the street with all my belongings and no place to go.
But she claims that Family Tree had paid for through August 10th.
That's right.
Through August 10th. And she was paying
and she got kicked out on the 8th, is what she's saying.
She's saying she was paying simultaneously as well, so they got double pay.
She's also saying the hotel stole her wallet.
Yeah. Well, maybe we have Deputy Doc call over to the hotel seriously.
She says she's got video of the owner threatening her.
All right. Well, let's get that video, Deputy Doc, and let's talk to her. All right. Now, comments on this. Jim, did I accurately summarize how you think? And who are you anyway? Just a normal guy off the street or what?
Just a guy off the street who knows way too much about this subject.
Why?
And let me say this.
Were you homeless?
Because oh my gosh, no. That would never happen. That would be an impossibility. It would be impossible for me to be homeless and everybody that I've ever met to be homeless.
Well, then, I mean, you deal with the homeless on... Why are you so up to date on this?
Because you know how people waste their time on Netflix I waste my time with social issues.
Got it. Cool.
All right. So go ahead, Jim.
I wanted to say this one thing. So you were saying, how will you solve homelessness? And the answer is you won't, because no one speaks of it, but there is a homeless industrial complex. The Colorado University admits, this is their study, that in the last few years, the state of Colorado, per homeless person, has spent between $42,000 and over $100,000 per homeless person. So if you're in the homelessness industry, why would you want that money to stop flowing?
We were just talking about that.
Okay, that's a good point.
The average homeless person in Denver is over $40,000 of taxpayers' money.
Now, Bill says he's formerly homeless. Bill.
I used to be homeless years ago, back in the 60s.
How long?
Probably 10 years. But anyways, I don't know, Tom. I really don't know what the problem is. I think...
Well, why were you homeless? Why were you homeless?
Well, my mother passed away, and my father died of alcohol, and we had 8 children. She had 8. Family of 8, and everybody went their own way. And I went to New Jersey, and I was homeless on the street there for a good 10 years. And then I found somebody and moved to Colorado. And,
when you say found somebody, you mean a mate?
My wife, yes.
Okay. And what happened then?
I lifted myself up. I didn't want to be there anymore. I just lifted myself up, and this is what a lot of people got to do. They got to lift themselves up.
What did you do, though? Well, what was the first thing you did?
The first thing I did is I quit alcohol. I quit taking drugs, and I just did it on my own, and I just didn't want to be there no more.
But how did you support yourself on the street?
Well, I picked up jobs here and there and moved on. And
where did you sleep? Where did you sleep?
I slept on the street in the tents. And
so basically, Bill, if it was as easy to be homeless as it is now, would you have gotten out of it? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. It's all in a person's mind. And I think a lot of what's going on right now is that they're in a community that they want to stay together and do their little parties and all this other stuff, and they don't want to go back.
Okay, I want to ask this then. When you were homeless, was your thought always to be unhomeless or to get a home, or did you think it was going to be that way forever?
You know, at the time, the 8 siblings split up, and everybody moved to different states, and I stayed in New Jersey. And
I'm just asking, though, did you want to be homeless?
At that time, I didn't think about it.
Okay.
I was just there.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Sometimes there's no clean answers. See, Jim, what do you think about that? He just wanted, he didn't even think probably what was going to happen in the next hour.
Are you telling me that there might be a person who has a substance abuse problem who's living on the street?
Yeah.
Once they made a change?
Isn't that hard to believe?
Changed?
You know,
amazing.
What's the impetus of change? In this case, he had a relationship. Oh, that's interesting. He didn't want to be there anymore. Okay, Antoine, what is your comment? Go ahead, Antoine.
Yes, so we do ministry. We do outreaches, and we actually go down in the trenches. And we go down there into, like, Dorchester Park, and we go up to, I'm here in Colorado Springs, so we do a lot of outreaches. And we reach out to the homeless. We talk to them. And, you know, the thing is, I think as a people, as a government, as a body, people that's trying to reach out to help, I think we went about this the wrong way. See, we went out to try to kind of calm the things down of the homeless and try to provide for them instead of trying to reach into it and see what the problem is. A lot of people that we speak to, that we talk to, it became a lifestyle for them. They became complacent in these things. They'll tell us, well, why would I want to work when I could go down here to the Marion House And I could go over here, I get vouchers to go over here and get clothes. And I could go over here, care and share, get a bicycle and a tent. And then I get 3 free meals. And then I could go stand in the corner and make $40, $50, $60 a day. You know, why would I want to get out of that? You know, so these people don't get complacent mentally, like Jim was saying, and it became a mental thing. And then, like the other man was saying, as far as the community, when he was homeless, when you go down in this community, you won't believe how tight these people are. They work these corners together. It's like a job to them. So you have about 3 or 4 people.
Right. It's not necessarily laziness. It's selection. Hold on.
When you live in Colorado, it's not if, but when your roof is going to get hit with hail or damaging high winds. But don't worry, we have Golden Spike Roofing. Call for a free roof inspection and know this. If you have an insurance claim, there is no one better than Golden Spike Roofing to help you out.
But I'm sure they get public service, public assistance of some kind.
I'd just be curious how they get it if they don't have an address. Or can they go and pick it up somewhere? I mean, I just like.
For your next ideal home loan is something I like saying over. Ideal. Let me explain how this works. Salary-based mortgage consultants really are the ones you deal with. So the best loan for you. Now that might be a 15 or 30, or you can pick any term you want. They get you the low rate and then give you the interest rate guarantee. So if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. Think about that. 303-867-7000. Another thing, they're direct mortgage lenders. That means they control the entire process. It's quick and efficient. They also can do a pre-approval, which is almost going to closing. I mean, the money's ready and you're already approved. Then you go out days. Loans.com. 303-867-7000. Today's car day, right? And Sentry RV, well, that's a motor vehicle. You can find your new or used Sentry RV, your new RV up at exit 240 and I-25. Just go drive north, get off on that exit, then south. Just about less than a quarter of a mile on the left. That's Sentry RV. There's 48 acres up there, and they want your trade all the way back to 2000. And they have the best prices in the nation. Sentry, as in C-E-N-T-U-R-Y, SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111. Guys, pizza.
Even if you refinance in the last year, we can still probably save you money. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how you can save up to thousands of dollars a year. This amazing 2.125 rate and APR won't last long, and our new fast track loan process can get it done in record time. So call today, 844-425-3669. That's 844-425-3669. 844-425-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. Call us at 844-425-3669. NMLS 3304. Not all of them apply. You will not be under rates of exchange. Radio the Summer is coming to Denver.
You going RVing this weekend, Mark?
Yes.
Where are you going this weekend?
We're going to Garden of the Gods.
Oh, so that's pretty close to you.
Yeah, it's real close. It's like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's a huge beer fest tomorrow. It's one of my favorite beer fests. It's at this beautiful Catholic church down kind of by, it's called St. Arnold's. It's down by, what's that really nice area, Colorado Springs? The Broadmoor area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous up there. And it's very family friendly. They'll have live bands. They have food. They have whiskeys. They have beer. So they have everything.
You taking the kids with you, or?
Actually, Addie is driving down tomorrow for sure to go to it, and Miles, if he can get the day off, will be there.
Okay.
He'll drive down with his sister. So hopefully.
Yeah, I love Arrowhead down there. It's a beautiful course.
Yeah.
Relief will fight to get you the best deal possible, and they got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau to prove it. Call Optima for your free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. 8055. Optima Tax Relief. Everything you paid into Social Security. Steps to managing your Social Security workshop. This no-cost workshop is designed for people with 5 years of retirement. This is limited. Lakewood, Boulder, your seat today. Or forward financial.
I'm hoping you.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sportsbook. The Rocky Dolphins fell flat in their 7-0 loss to the Giants last night. The loss dropped them to 13-43 away from home, third worst in the major leagues. They'll face the Giants again tonight and look to snap their 4-game losing streak with Austin Yonder on the mound. And prosecutors in Indianapolis have charged former Boulder basketball player Carlos Speedy Johnson Jr. with felony rape and sexual battery for a February 4th incident in the Georgia court. I'm Jimmy.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up. That's code SPORTS for a special offer when you sign up only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
On Denver's Talk Station. Sign up for our newsletter email now at KL.com about news, weather, sports, and more from our community. That's KL.com.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-82. Exteriors, now Genesis Solar as well. You can get to them by genesissolarco.com. The
25-year warranty on parts, components, and a 25-year warranty on performance, plus a free 20-minute site evaluation to let you know what you'll save. GenesisSolarCO.com, 303-474-4317. Antoine says he does outreach with the homeless. And what have you learned, Antoine? What have you learned if you had to sum it up?
I feel that as a body, as a community, as a government, and people that's listening on the show, people in the churches, we got over 100 churches that go out here and support the homeless, but we're not getting to the problem. There's a core problem. The core problem is not getting them shoes and clothes and vouchers. The core problem is getting them off the streets. Now, we got people in our ministry that deals with the disabled.
But what if they don't want to get off the street? How do you deal with that?
That's when the government has to step in and stop ignoring the problem. They have to hold these people accountable. These people are here starting fires at camp, these homeless camps, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Man, when they have to clean up these homeless camps right now. So the problem is you got to start holding the homeless accountable. They got to start changing the laws about this. These people are well capable of getting off their butts and getting off the streets and being productive in the community. Going to get little small jobs. You know, I work for Gordon Construction right now, and we're building little small communities, affordable communities, little small houses throughout southern Colorado Springs right now for people to get off the streets and start helping themselves. We don't lay the hand out to help these people for many, many years, Tom. When is it going to stop when people say, look, it's time to start holding the homeless accountable?
Well, you know what? You want to know, here's the bottom